Talib?
Good evening. This is Talib Kareem with Abe Legal. We're back with our podcast series that we launched last year, and I'm happy that we are relaunching it at the middle of the year. Really excited about all the wonderful things that we've done over the past year to help close to 100 both lawyers and people in need of legal services to connect with one another. And recently, we launched a new partnership to basically respond to a lot of the stress that has basically been experienced as people have basically tried to survive this pandemic. And in fact, now having to go back into the workplace, having to go back into the schools, even though schools are ending for the semester. So there's a lot of additional stress that has basically been showered upon us, if you will. And as a way of responding to that, Abe has just recently launched a partnership with a yoga studio in order to try to address things from not just the legal standpoint, but also the health and wellness standpoint. And we're really excited about our new partnership with Be Your Cure Yoga 26 Yoga Studios. And so now we're going to introduce to you the leader, the operator of Be Your Cure 26 Yoga Studios, and that's none other than Kelley-Chung. And here she is. Welcome, Kelley-Chung. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you? I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Great. So just as a quick background, Kelley-Chung is a 20-year yoga practitioner, and she has had a lot of experience both as an instructor, now as an operator, and she has a really terrific platform that is bringing yoga into both the home and workplace. And in fact, bringing yoga to you wherever you might be, which is really exciting. Yeah. So, can you start by telling us a little bit about how are you helping people to de-stress themselves, to stay healthy and safe even in today's crazy world as we're kind of transitioning from being totally remote to now being hybrid or maybe even totally in person?
Right. So BYC, Be Your Cure, we offer online hassle-free fitness and wellness classes that conveniently can be done at your home, your office, vacation, or anywhere. So that's great in and of itself. But just like you were saying, where people are having some anxiety as we now are starting to come out of this pandemic, or come to our new sense of whatever our new normal is going to be. But people are starting to have some anxiety over the stress of returning to these indoor workspaces and such. So this is a great opportunity for access to these types of services. The online platform also helps to bring this access to underrepresented communities that would otherwise be unable to attend some of these in studio classes. So, for example, Muslim women often find it hard and difficult to practice in a room in the same room with men. There sometimes may be transportation issues with an online platform. There's no car that's needed. There is no stress over traffic, no worry over that, no worry about being late to class. And with the online platform as well, if you just happen to be unable to attend the class that you wanted to, you have, as a member, you have access to on-demand classes 24/7. So, and I can't tell you how often I've heard someone complain about being even more stressed out driving to yoga, to their yoga class, and getting there late and being locked out. And that's just the worst feeling of all. And so with this, we completely alleviate that problem. And now another thing that has been a little thorn in my side a little bit has been just trying to get people into the classes, into the studio, and so often hearing various really concerns that are really more kind of self-conscious concerns people might have. So for example, I have a friend who literally has not tried or attempted a class of this sort because she's really afraid that she might pass gas in class. And while that's funny, it's very real and it's very true for a lot of people. Not just that, but plenty of other concerns that I've heard over the years that keep people from coming into an indoor class, in-person live class, even at their doctor's suggestion. So, we now have this platform. It's open. It creates this access, and for me, that actually is even more important because this gives me a far greater reach to get to those people who actually really need it the most. And so with that, I really hope that your audience will come and visit our website at www.bycyoga26.com, learn a little bit more about me, the studio, our classes, and sign up. Give it a try.
Well, that's been an amazing introduction, and I really think that I was particularly interested in what you were saying about Muslim women, and something I really had not, even considered a lot, although, of course, I'm Muslim and we work with a lot of Muslim customers who are looking for legal services, but you're absolutely right. A lot of people just don't even take into consideration that. And I'm really glad and happy to hear that you have, and I myself, I spent this pandemic trying to keep healthy myself by taking, online classes. I actually, before finding online classes, searched on YouTube to find the limited number of just, classes that were recorded that I could just practice and work out too. And so I'm really happy to hear that you're really, kind of doubling down while people are kind of paring back their online classes. You're increasing the online classes that you have, and I'm really happy to hear that you are doing that. And because I do think it's a really niche and needed area.
Yeah, agreed.
I need
to doing this, while it was, extremely challenging at the time. It definitely, it's cliche, but as one door closes, another door opens, and it really just opened up a whole new opportunity, and I'm very in a lot of ways very thankful for this to have
and
happened.
I must say that I am also. I used to always, unfortunately, come to class, just running late, just because, leaving meetings, trying to pick up, children, just
Exactly.
the challenge of the commute. And then, one studio that I used to go to had a lot of parking, but then when I switched to another studio, they didn't have a lot of parking. It was
That's another one.
downtown, and in the neighborhood wasn't too, it was okay, but you still have to be concerned about, is the car going to be safe, you know what I mean? There wasn't a parking structure around. So it's being able to kind of leave a meeting and take off your clothes, turn on your screen, and then get before the screen and be into a class. And I tell you, just yesterday I was in a class remote class, and I was sweating like in the first 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so some
absolutely.
people are like, hey, you can't really get a sweat, remotely. And I can tell you firsthand that that's absolutely not the case,
Right, right, right. And that was another one of the things, that we had to, we had a challenge that we had to do in the pivot. As a surprise, the yoga that we were doing didn't really translate that well to an online experience. So we had to, really double down on the type of classes that we were offering and restructuring those so that what we were offering online is something that is safe and doable at home, and also teaching people how to really build that internal heat so that you don't really need that.
And
So
so, well,
go
I was
ahead.
going to ask you in terms of what you need. Why don't you maybe, I understand, and I know we might even have some video of some of your classes that we could pull up at some point on the screen, but, what are some tips that people might be able to take to work tomorrow or maybe use in their home tonight? What, are some exercises that if I'm going through a lot of stress, I can, use?
And that's a great question. I really love that. So let's see. I would like to start. One of the biggest complaints that I hear from people at the studio is low back pain.
Mm.
And often the culprit of our low back pain is from all the forward bending that we do all day long. So
Right.
like you and I are sitting here right now talking to each other and we're in a forward bend. You get in your car, you're driving home, and you're in a forward bend. You're sitting at the table, you're watching TV. We're in forward bending all day long, right?
Mm.
And so we don't really think about that so much because it's just what we do, right? But
Right.
then we get this pain in our back, and we're like, oh, I got this pain. So then our natural inclination is to want to forward bend some more to try to alleviate that, right?
Okay.
So we find ourselves doing that. We get back up, and while there might have been a very temporary little bit of relief at that, we're still struggling. The pain is still there. The pain comes back, and ultimately, what we've done is really exacerbated the condition. So I like to use this analogy when I talk about this. Like to use the mosquito bite analogy. So we get bit by a mosquito. The mosquito, it irritates us. It starts to itch, and we want to instinctually scratch it, right? Well, we scratch it, and now you're a kid. You scratch it, and you scratch, and it just gets worse. And so we learn that that's what happens, right? So as an adult, we now know that we can't scratch that mosquito bite, or it's going to get worse. So we got to leave it alone, and that's not what's intuitive to us. So similarly with the low back pain, what's not intuitive to us, that generally is the answer, is to backward bend. So I'd like to, since we are here and this is something that I would like to say you can do at any point. I'd like to just go ahead and do it here with you right now. So
hey, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So go ahead and just push your chair back a little bit. And so you're standing up. I hope you guys can still see me. So you just want to just plant your feet about 6 feet apart. I hope you guys can still see me.
All right, I'm going to move the chair away from myself so
Okay.
I don't bump into it.
Okay, but in general, like you honestly wouldn't even need to move your chair. It's just just maybe just a little pushback and you just stand up, right? So hips width apart, just plant your feet. If you happen to be, like in one of those office spaces where
my buddies at the Air Force Academy would say, "Man, you don't have a tucked shirt, man."
Yeah, right. You better watch that. All right. So if you just happen to be in a casual space and you are barefooted, go ahead and just lift your toes, spread them wide, and set them back down. That's just to help you just bring a little bit more attention to where we're grounding. If you're in shoes, don't worry about it. Just simply bring your attention there. That is just about awareness. Okay.
All right.
So from there, just allow your thighs to contract a little bit so your kneecaps lift, so your lower half is nice and strong foundation.
All right.
And then from here, just take your hands and place them on your low back.
fingertips on the outside, fingertips down, thumbs in the outside. So your elbows are coming behind you.
Got it.
Deep breath, just kind of lift up out of your waist and gently on your exhale, push your hips forward with the help of your hands. And now begin to squeeze your elbows a little bit closer. On your next inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. And now with your exhale, very gently with your eyes, start to look back and start to lean back. So let your eyes guide you. Now again, inhale, open up your chest. Exhale, squeeze your elbows in a little bit better. And then on your exhale now, gently go back a little bit deeper and release a nice, good, that feels so good. And then inhale and bring yourself right back up. And that is a very simple thing that you can do at any point, at any time, really in your office, in your home space, wherever, anytime. I mean, honestly, you can even do it on an airplane.
Wow.
And I've seen people do it, and I've definitely done it on an airplane.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And again, I know you have had some cool little some classes, and I don't know if we can get some of those cool classes up on the screen. But hey, I hear something else that cool. The studio. Well, that was cool.
Yeah.
So, but tell me, again, because a lot of people were saying, okay, well, look, I spent the entire, year and a half basically cloistered up, and I do want to get out somewhat. Are there any opportunities, even though you're doing online classes, to maybe do some yoga, let's say outdoors even? Do you have anything like that for people?
Yes, we do. And we're very, very, very excited as we are having our very first 2021 yoga hike at the end of this month. So June 27th. It is going to be at, outdoors at the Great Falls National Park. We'll meet in the morning. We're going to stroll along the Potomac River, beautiful, right up to the cascading rapids and falls, where we'll jog off the path just a little bit with a nice grassy lawn and do about a 20-minute warm yoga routine that will get us primed up and warmed up for the next part, which is a more vigorous hike right up alongside the cliffside and into the Mather Gorge, where there are just spectacular views. It's just amazing. And then we'll return on a nice leisurely flat path back to where we started. And if everyone's up to it, we'll finish it off with a nice about 10-15 minute little cool down routine. And then everybody can be on their merry way from there. And there's plenty of things, like the park is huge. I think it's like 800 acres or something like that. So plenty of other things to do. So don't have to necessarily leave because it is really nice. It's just a great social activity outdoors. It's safe. It brings us together again in a safe way, outdoors and nature. Bringing both yoga and the nature together is just like a double dose of just peace and tranquility, and it'll be invigorating and rejuvenating, but most of all, it's going to be fun. So I'm not exactly sure. I know you guys have got the registration.
Yeah, in fact, I put the link right there in the comments. And in fact, for folks who have not already done so, why don't you like this show so you can basically make sure that you can come back to it. If you haven't copied down that link, you can also don't forget to smack the subscribe button and share it with any of your friends. And if you have any questions or comments before we conclude, we're of course welcome those, and would definitely like to hear from you. But Kat, let me ask you as we conclude. I mean, I definitely think that you have so many ideas and good tips. We need to come back. All right. So let me just first of all see, can I get you to sign up for a part 2 of this good conversation?
Yes, okay, absolutely. This is great. This is fun.
Excellent.
And definitely, people, get that link, sign up. It's going to be great fun. You won't regret it. And again, visit us at our website, learn more about us at www.bycyoga26.com. Hopefully that's somewhere else out there in the link, and just learn more about us. Check out what our classes are like, and register. Come check us out.
Excellent. And in fact, we did put that link up there, and we're looking forward to launching a really exciting partnership beyond this initial hike that's coming up. So stand by, hopefully, for the next podcast, which we'll discuss that exciting part 2. But I'm really excited. Again, I went to an in-person yoga session for the first time in a year and a half, basically, about last week. And I can just tell you, like, those issues that you just talked about that, are there in terms of both the commute, the time that it takes you to get ready and get out the door, the, issues with parking, the, once you get into a room, kind of thinking, well, okay, am I going to be safe? You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether or not you believe in the vaccination or not, just like it's an issue. You know what I mean? You don't have to think about when you're in your home. You're like, okay, everybody in my home is safe.
Right.
So
right.
I definitely will congratulate you for all that you're doing to keep us safe, to really help us to de-stress ourselves either at work or at home. And I'm really looking forward to this exciting yoga hike trip. I'm definitely going to be signing up.
Good, great.
And I'm looking forward to enjoying myself with you and the entire team. And I understand that maybe there might be even some places that folks might want to eat after, or maybe bring your own cookout.
Exactly.
And maybe, hey, you might want to turn it into a camping trip, even, right?
Well, that might be coming up next.
Okay. Well, good.
Just stay tuned.
I will wait for that then. Well, thank you so much, Kat. Is there anything else that you want to leave before you depart?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything else you want to say before you depart?
I just am looking forward to seeing everyone's happy, smiling faces.
Excellent.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
This has been a wonderful conversation. Don't, again, forget to subscribe. Get to leave any comments in the chat. And don't forget to sign up for either her, classes that are taking place Monday through Sunday, or the exciting yoga hike experience happening on the 27th, Sunday the 27th at 9 o'clock at the Great Falls National Park in Virginia. Just 25 to 30 minutes outside of the DMV. All right.
Very close. Very close. Yep.
All right. Well, with that, have a wonderful day and look forward to our next podcast with you soon.
Me too. Great to meet you. Yep.
Take care. Again, you may also need to talk with a lawyer because of, perhaps your job isn't bringing to you the types of things that, again, yoga and other wellness programs bring to you to keep you safe in your workplace. If that's the case, again, don't hesitate to go to abe.legal. That'll also be in our link in the comment section to schedule your appointment with one of our employment lawyers to talk about what problems that you might be having at work. This has been Talib Kareem with Abe Legal. We look forward to continuing to provide you with information and resources to keep you safe at work, at home, in school, and wherever you might find yourself. Until next time, I bid you good night.